Jeff, I have a question. Were the people that you interviewed, was it based on who was available or who you sought?
Both.
Pretty much both.
A combination of the two. We started with a list because, as we said, we wanted them to fit certain criteria. We wanted to make sure that the stories were not depressing. That even if they encountered some difficulties and tough times along the way, if there was involvement with drugs, whatever the case, that somehow they found the way to make something out of their lives, that they made it over the hurdle. A lot of the people who we got in contact with or who were suggested to us were sad cases, and we really didn't want to end any of the chapters on a sad or sour note. We just didn't, and so that eliminated, unfortunately, a lot of folks. Many of them that we contacted were bitter because rock and roll had treated them so poorly, or more specifically, agents, record companies, for whatever reason, they just had a bitter experience and they just don't want to talk to anybody about it anymore. Or someone else may have gotten to them before we did and didn't treat them very respectfully, and they didn't want to talk to any more writers. One of the things that differentiates us and was helpful in opening doors for us was the reassurance that they would get to review the chapter. And it wasn't, we didn't make that offer to avoid lawsuits. Of course, that could help. But really, it was because we wanted to guarantee accuracy. When you do an interview, you can misinterpret what someone says. Maybe they actually told you something, but you may not have understood it, or they didn't tell you the whole story, or they didn't put it in full proper context. And then when they see it on your draft copy, they say, no, that's really not quite right. That's not actually the way it happened. And so by involving them in the review process, we improved the accuracy considerably. We're not going to say it's 100% accurate, and I say that because among some of the members, their recollections vary considerably. And when you're dealing with a group that had 4 or 5 members, or in the case of the Grassroots, we interviewed 9 different people. Their memories vary a lot. And so we try to weed out strong differences of opinion. We didn't want any of them firing darts at the others. We also tried to blur areas that we really could not get clear consensus. Some things we left out intentionally. But overall, we just wanted to paint as truthful a picture as possible without being deceptive, and we wanted the stories to be, as enjoyable as possible. We didn't want anybody to go away from a chapter feeling depressed. And there were a lot of people that flat out did not want to talk to us. They were just plain rude.
They didn't make the book, right?
They didn't make the book. There was one member of a group that we tracked down. We actually tried to get him in the first book, Echoes of the 60s, and they wanted to be paid. And it's just not in our budget. We can't pay for interviews. We figure we're giving. It's an even trade. We're giving some of these folks publicity, particularly if they're on tour. At the same time, they're giving us an hour of their time, and that's really all we're asking for on the phone.
Are these books marketed nationally or just locally?
They are globally, in fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ingram is
The distributor. Yeah. And some folks just said, well, what's in it for me? I want you to pay me. So that same group, the same guy that wanted us to pay him, I thought, hey, maybe he forgot who I was. That was in 1997. I called him last year. I said, hi, my name's Jeff March. And he said, what's the name of your book? I said, Where Have All the Pop Stars Gone? He said, well, I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere. I said, well, yes, that's true, but I doubt that many people know that you're there. And he said, well, I certainly know I'm here, and all my friends know I'm here, and he was just irritable.